Got this question about Crusoe and Nebius. So I'm going to start with Nebius. That's one that I know the best, and then I will do a video on Crusoe later on. Nebius is pretty simple to start out with. You just have to sign up for an account. If you work for a company, I would recommend contacting sales because having a solutions architect that you're working with can speed up things like getting quota requests done. But overall, I would say getting started with Nebius is probably simpler than getting started with other clouds. That's generally true for GPU clouds because they have less features, so there's less complexity. If I was starting out with Nebius today, you first don't have to create a VPC. Nebius already creates one out of the box. In fact, I don't think you can actually create one. I think you just have to use the existing one that comes with your account. After that, you can go into compute and spin up an instance with an image. You can install whatever you want. Well, that's a pretty simple workflow. They also have managed Kubernetes clusters, so you can spin one of those up. And the Kubernetes cluster comes with extensions like the NVIDIA GPU operator and Cilium for network policies. A couple other services that are in Nebius that you might find handy are they have an object storage layer that's very similar to AWS S3, and they also have a container registry. Nebius also has some apps that you can use. They expose in their console. I haven't personally used any of those. I primarily use Nebius for lower level things like orchestrating Kubernetes or just running standalone instances. Because after we have a Kubernetes cluster, we just install Saturn Cloud on top, and then we do everything else in Saturn Cloud. If you are working for a company, there's a good chance you already have a cloud account with one of the hyperscalers like AWS, Azure, GCP. When we set up customers on Nebius, we don't automatically mirror their data into Nebius. Our approach is to start as simple as possible. So most oftentimes the data is in Redshift or it's in AWS S3, in which case it's very easy to load those data sources directly from any Nebius compute machine. The only reason to replicate that data within Nebius if either you need lower latencies or if the egress costs become prohibitive. Other than that, it's pretty easy to get started. So I would create an account, I would spin up a compute machine, probably spin up a Kubernetes cluster, and then once you have a Kubernetes cluster, it's the same as Kubernetes cluster anywhere else, and it's pretty easy to work with. In fact, I would say the Nebius Kubernetes clusters are probably easier than working with some of like Amazon EKS or GKE, because anyone using a Kubernetes cluster is using it for machine learning and AI. As a result, all the standard add-ons that you would need, like the NVIDIA GPU operator, are already loaded and already work out of the box.